Fires too strong, and SDA the board. Clark 1 for 4 in the early go. Fires too strong.
Caitlin Clark misses a shot. Nothing more than a routine miss. Something every player in the league experiences several times during any game, regardless of talent or status. But before the ball has even come down, before she gets the opportunity to turn around, recover, and get set defensively, Stephanie White is already signaling for her to come to the bench.
Clark can be as great as anybody. She can be Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. She can be anybody. As long as she got Hey Honor over there as a coach, Mr. Crab's daughter over there as a coach, and as long as she got that ball hog on her team that's messing up the whole team chemistry, we gonna keep losing, and we not winning the championship. So as long as that coach is over there, and as long as that ball hog keep doing the same thing she doing, Indiana Fever fans, Caitlin fans, y'all may as well get championships out of y'all heads. It's not happening. Listen, if Stephanie White keeps doing that gimmick she has going on over there, being weird, we are not winning anything. We'll be lucky to make it out of the first.
This wasn't during a timeout, a dead ball situation, or one of those normal breaks when a coach casually changes the lineup near the end of a quarter. The decision came instantly. Clark missed a shot, got pulled from the game, and headed directly to the bench while the New York Liberty continued play without any interruption. Fever fans watching saw it happen immediately because this no longer feels like an isolated coaching decision. It's beginning to resemble a real trend, especially since something similar has happened in 2 consecutive games against completely different teams. There's a post circulating that perfectly captures what many people seem to be thinking while watching the game, and honestly, it explains the reaction better than I could myself. The post argues that the Indiana Fever have somehow reduced Caitlin Clark to the role of a supporting player, calling the situation unbelievable. It points out that she had only 2 assists in the first half, not because she suddenly lost her ability to create opportunities, but because the ball has been out of her hands for the second straight game. Too often, Clark has been positioned away from the action or left standing in the corner, while Indiana attempts to generate offense through other options. The reason behind that approach isn't clear, and I'm not going to claim that I know it. But one thing is obvious. This team doesn't look better when Caitlin Clark is watching the offense unfold instead of directing it. You have one of basketball's most dangerous playmakers on the roster. Let her control the ball and create. It really shouldn't have to be this difficult.
Pick out the best player in the league, but it sucks that she got a stupid coach and a ball hogging teammate.
Indiana looking for their first lead. Clark behind
picking them apart.
This is
Threes.
a long 2.
Picking them apart. It's too easy.
That's where I'm gauging
It's too
exactly
easy.
where
Look,
she is, guys.
breaking them down.
Taylor.
But her coach, word Waldo, Here's the cowardly dog. Like, what are we talking about? Hey Arnold sitting over there. Like she's pathetic, man. We need a new coach. Or Caitlin needs to go. This is pathetic. She is putting on MVP caliber play, but she got teammates that wants to hold the ball like they Michael Jeffrey Jordan or somebody. Like, this is nasty. She's setting people up, getting people open, all type of stuff. Busting.
Just 2 assists throughout the entire first half. And this isn't simply a bad shooting night, making the stat line look misleading. Caitlin Clark is averaging more than 8 assists per game this season. She remains one of the best natural playmakers in basketball today, a player opposing defenses specifically build their entire game plans around because of what she can create with the ball in her hands. Yet for 2 consecutive games, in 2 different cities against completely different opponents, the ball hasn't been in Clark's hands nearly enough for this offense to operate the way it is supposed to.
The bozo bonehead, man. Get Caitlin Clark the hell away from this clown-ass organization. We got to get into this game, man. Y'all know Caitlin Clark played small forward for the entire first half of the game, all the way until about 4 minutes left in the third quarter when the Indiana Fever were down by 9. The girl was playing small forward. Aaliyah Boston brought the ball up the whole first 3.5 quarters. This is ridiculous. This is malpractice. Stephanie White should be fired.
If you pay attention to where Clark positions herself during Indiana's half-court offense, she isn't standing at the top of the key and starting the action. She isn't bringing the ball up and analyzing the defense like she has done throughout the season. The same style of play that turned her into such a difficult matchup for every team on the schedule. Instead, she's placed in the corner. She's working without the ball, hands relaxed, watching someone else attempt to create an opportunity from nothing, while the most dangerous playmaker on the roster simply waits for a catch-and-shoot chance that might never even arrive. That's not an offensive adjustment. That's a talented player being removed from her own offense while still technically standing on the court in uniform.
Are you going to let them go do things that you're going, that's not a real good idea right now? Right? Because if you start to harness greatness, then they start to second guess what you want them to do.
And this is the difference from a real, actual great coach and then Stephanie White. Stephanie White has this thing. This is why I say she got all of the characteristics of a narcissist. Because Stephanie White wants to control, micromanage every single thing. And it was a clip going around when Caitlin played Toronto, I believe. It was that game. And she crossed the girl up real bad. The girl went way, she started guarding her own teammate somewhere. And everybody was like, why didn't Caitlin take the three? And she was wide open. It goes back to that second guessing that Cheryl just talked about. Because every time Caitlin does something, who do you see in her ear on the sideline? Who do you see chasing her down trying to say something? Who do you see always on the sideline emoting, doing some type of weird stuff? Stephanie White. And I keep telling y'all, Stephanie White has been...
Let's go back 2 games, because this story didn't begin against the Liberty. 2 nights before that matchup, Indiana traveled to Dallas to face the Wings, where Clark endured one of her toughest shooting performances of the season. She finished 4 of 15 from the field, a frustrating and unusually cold night by any standard. She still collected assists and continued finding open teammates whenever the chance was there, but her involvement in the offense had already begun to decrease long before the final horn. Indiana eventually fell 91-85. Meanwhile, in that very same game, Kelsey Mitchell was forced to take complete control, scoring 37 points and setting a new league record for the longest streak of consecutive 20-point games in a single season.
Caitlin Clark, like I said, overall, I thought she played pretty well, especially considering the circumstances. This was nifty. Right over the big on the inside. Not to mention, she had a nice step back 3 at one point in the game early. She got her shot going as the game went along because she didn't shoot the ball well to start it and then wound up shooting the ball much better. But this was a nice, nifty step back. Cash. Kelsey also went over 20 points again. That's routine at this point. Here doing it with a boogie move on Jonquel Jones. Woo! Got right
now. Kelsey Mitchell scoring 37 points is an outstanding individual performance, and no one watching this is trying to take any credit away from what she accomplished. She has been exceptional at different points throughout the season and fully deserves recognition for stepping up when Indiana needed her the most. But there is an important difference between Mitchell catching fire naturally within a smooth, balanced offense and Mitchell receiving the ball 40 times a night, because the point guard expected to control the entire offense has gradually been pushed away from her natural role. When Caitlin Clark isn't initiating possessions the way she's designed to, the offense doesn't just lose scoring. It loses its rhythm, its tempo, and its ability to create advantages before the defense is even fully set in the half court. That's exactly what has happened over the last 2 games, and the box score reflects it every single time.
Look at this. Look, pass the ball, pass the ball, pass the ball. Look, Caitlin wide open, clank, pathetic. Well, let's watch it again one more time. Look, Caitlin's wide open, nobody's on her. Look, this is pathetic. Yes, a rant is coming. Who does we have as a coach? Where is our coach? Because apparently she missing. This is pathetic. This is probably the worst job I've ever seen a coach do. And then let's just listen. When the fans booed her, why did y'all stop? She literally deserved that. Y'all literally should start booing again. Why are you hating on Caitlin Clark? How you hating on the best player on the team and anybody else can do something, you fine with it. Caitlin do something, you all over throwing a hissy fit like a toddler. Like, grow up.
This also isn't the first time Stephanie White has faced questions over an in-game decision involving Clark's role with the team. Earlier in May, Against the Portland Fire, White took Clark out early in the first quarter, while the game was still clearly within reach. Indiana eventually lost by 16 points, making the timing of that substitution stand out even more afterward. White later explained that the decision was made to manage Clark's workload because of her continuing back concerns, and taken by itself, that's a completely reasonable explanation from a coach. Nobody wants to see a young superstar forced to play through genuine pain just to chase one regular season victory in the middle of May. But once you begin adding these decisions together over the course of an entire season, a pattern starts to emerge that's much harder to dismiss as simple injury precaution, especially during stretches when Clark appears completely healthy on the court.
It's consistency, right, for us. I thought that there were some moments, where we made him uncomfortable. Not enough. When we were up into the ball flight train, I thought we got some really good things on the defensive end. And then there were lapses that caused fouls, and then the free throws, lapses that allowed offensive rebounds, lapses that allowed, soft switches into cuts, lapses on the offensive end where we didn't move the ball, we didn't find the right play, didn't find the right pass. Look, you think if you shoot 51%, 42% from the three, and you make your free throws, but more than anything, I think this is just an opportunity for us to keep learning, how much of a sense of urgency you have to play with every single possession. This is playoff basketball right now. It's playoff basketball, and there has to be an urgency every single